Welcome back to the session of Basics of Python. Here we are going to consider the comprehensions in Python. So we are going to deep dive into the comprehensions in Python. So we are here discussing about the list comprehensions, set comprehensions, dictionary comprehension. So first, in the first video, I'm going to upload the first video related to the list comprehension. Later on, in the later on videos, we will be discussing about the set comprehensions and also the dictionary comprehensions. So first, let us deep dive into the list comprehension. What is this list comprehension and what the comprehension means is, see, we will be writing a set of instructions in order to execute and save it in a single variable. Instead of that, in a single line, we are going to write the entire code. So how in a single line we are going to write a code? So now I have opened the Jupyter notebook in order to ease the execution process. I have opened the Jupyter notebook now. Now, what this single line instruction that is being given is, for suppose, now I'm going to take a list. Okay, this is my list. So on the list, I am taking some elements like this. Okay, so these are different types of elements that I have taken. After this, now I want to iterate this list using the for loop and print the elements. Okay, so for element on list, so iteration using for loop, iteration, how the iteration using for loop will be there. For the element in list, we are going to iterate it and print the elements. Print element. So here I am writing printing the element. So if I run this particular code, say we are going to get this list of elements through the iteration process. Now, my intention is, can't I write the entire thing in a single line now? So now, can't I write the single line statement now? Now, that is only the list comprehension or the comprehension of the entire code. So let us move forward and discuss about the comprehensions clearly now. So, first of all, for suppose, if I am having the same list. So, if I am having a list like this. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my list. Okay. So, in the list, now I have to make a list comprehension and print. Now, let us consider my new list. Okay. So generally the syntax will be a variable name or an expression. Here we are going to write a variable name or an expression here, and we are going to write what we want to have. Actually, it is a list comprehension. That is the reason we have to give these kind of braces. So this braces means it is a list comprehension. Generally, what we wrote here is for element in lst1, we have to print the elements, right? So here actually what we have to print or what we have to written have to be mentioned here. Okay. So then if I am executing now the new list will be consisting of the elements which are already available in list 1. So I am going to print the new list now because I want to know whether it is stored in the new list or not. Now I am running this. Yes, the new list is consisting of the same elements, whatever we are having in list 1. See, what are the list 1 elements? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The same elements are stored in new list. See, for your convenience, again, I am explaining you the same point. If we are having a list, okay, so this is list 2. If we are having a list like this, 56, 78, like this, and if you want to print or if you want to transfer the elements of one list to another list, now this is my new list and list is equal to, so here comes the comprehension now. So whatever the elements you are reading using the for loop for element on list 2. Okay, for element in list 2. So it will be storing the elements, and if you print n underscore list, Okay, then we will be getting the same. Okay, this is called list comprehension. So similarly, for suppose I am taking list comprehension like uh, uh, my list may be A. Now A is equal to the list which is consisting of uh, the value of X for X in range, for X in range. So 1, comma 10. Okay. So what does it mean is from element 1 to 9, all the elements whatever we are having, it will be taken care and stored in the X value, and that list is being stored in A. Now let us check whether it is stored or not using the print statement. Print A. Now I'm running the code and I'm getting the list ranging from 1 to 10. Actually, what's happening here is, remember, what's happening here is, so A is equal to, I am taking a list now, means, so this A consists of, generally, this A program is for X in range, okay, for X in range, 1, comma 10, 1, comma 10. What we have to do is, we have to append A dot append of X. So A dot append of X. This code is rewritten like this. So again, I'm telling you. So what this code? So what kind of code it is rewritten? So let us consider again. See what I want to tell you is for X in range. Okay, 1, comma 10. So for X in range 1, comma 10. First of all, I have to take an empty list. Okay. Now I am taking B1 as an empty list. Okay. B1 is equal to empty list. Let us take. Okay. So and B dot append of X. And now if we want to print the list of elements that are available in B, then I can write print B, and now I am running this. Okay. Sorry, B is not, sorry, it is B1, right? So that is the reason it is telling it is not defined. So it is B1. See here. So I have taken a list B1, empty list. Now I am appending to it. Okay. And I am printing this B1. Instead, what I have done prior using the list comprehensions is, now I am doing list comprehensions. See, listen carefully. Now the same B1 is equal to, for suppose, if I am considering a list, this is the empty list that I am going to take. This is the empty list that I am going to take, and X, what value I have to store? The element value I have to store. Element, okay, element or X, whatever it is, for element in range, okay, for element in range 1, comma 10, okay, I have to store that value. Now, if I print B1, okay, if I print B1 and run this, see, the elements are being stored here. Okay, hope you are understanding. So, the same kind of code, see, if we want to append to the empty list, whatever the range elements we are specifying here, the same thing we can do using the list comprehension. So what we have done is, we have to take a variable like A, B or anything. So a value we have to take is equal to, okay, we have to take a list, open brace and a close brace, and then internally you have to write whatever the element you want to store. Now, for suppose, my list is consisting of, elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, my list is consisting of these elements now. Okay. Now, I want squares of these numbers to be considered and print that squares. So now SQ underscore list is equal to, okay. So generally what we are going to do is, so print the squares means I am going to take an empty list now. Okay, I want to take an empty list, and for element in LST, sorry, in LST, okay. Now what I want to do, each and every element has to be squared, okay, and stored in the square. SQ underscore list, okay, and that element has to be squared first. So S is equal to, okay, element ELE asterisk 2, because it has to be squared, okay. Then it has to be appended to append or, okay. Hope you are understanding step by step. Now, my SQ underscore list is consisting of the squares of these elements. Okay, the squares of these elements. Now, I am going to print SQ squares of the list. So, let us consider. So, see here, the squares of the list is being printed. So, what is the list that we are having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The square of 1 is 1. The square of 2 is 4. 3 is 9. So and so on. Here 9 square is 81. So what we have taken here? A list we have taken. Okay. We have taken an empty list also, because the squares have to be stored somewhere else. That is the reason I have taken. Because I want only the list squares only. That is the reason I have taken like this. Okay. And for every element, I have squared it and stored that in S. And the stored value is being appended to the SQ underscore list. So this is print where SQ underscore list, I am printing the values. So instead of writing this much of code, okay, instead of writing this much of code, I can also write LST is equal to, for suppose I am taking one more list, that is, I may take 23, 24, 25, 26. This is my list. Now for this, using list comprehensions, I have to do the squares. So how to do that is SQ underscore list. Here I will take SQ only. SQ is equal to. Now I have to store it in a list, right? So the same thing, what I have to do? Element square I have to do. So what I have to do? Element square I have to do. And what? For each element in the list. For each element in the list. Okay, and print. So I want to know what SQ consists of now. So I'm writing here SQ. Okay, see what I have written. I want the element square. Okay, so that is the reason I have taken ELE square for element in list, and I am printing the squares. So let us run this. So the square of 23 is 529, 24 is 576. Like that, it is printing all the elements squares. Hope you are understanding the list comprehensions. In a single line, in a list, you have to write. Now let us consider a list. LST2. My list now has changed the name. So, or else I can take L1. So, L1 is my list. Okay. L1, there will be a confusion in the name. So, I'm taking values. Okay. I'm taking some values, and those values are 1, 2, just a minute. Values is equal to 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I want to print the even numbers and the odd numbers using list comprehensions. Only the even numbers and the odd numbers. Okay. So for suppose even. So even list. So let us consider the even list. I am going to use the list comprehension now. That is the reason I am giving these two brackets like this. Okay. And internally what I want? An element I want by reading all the values in values. Okay. I have to check the condition. So I want an element for these values. Okay. For these values. I should not give values. I will. For these values. And I have to check one condition. What is the condition for even number? If element modulus of 2 double equal to 0. So this is the only condition I have. See, listen carefully. Again, I will be explaining you. I want an element. Okay. After reading the entire contents for element in value. Okay. I have to check one more condition. If that element is modulus of 2 double equal to 0 or not. Okay. So now I want to print the even list. I want to print the even list. And now I am running this. See here, I got all the even numbers from the list. I got all the even numbers from the list. And also I want from the same list, okay, these values are same from the same list. I want odd. Now tell me how to get that odd list. So odd list is equal to same. We have to take these kind of brackets. I want an element. Okay. Now tell me the logic. For element in value, the same thing. If element modulus of 2 not equal to 0. Okay. Then you take such a kind of element only. Then you take such a kind of element only and store it in odd list. So I am printing print odd list. Now I am printing the odd list. See here, from the set of elements, I got the odd list. So this is about the list comprehensions, which I have already shared with you, the PPT related to that, and also I will be sharing the PPT. So in this PPT I have given you. Okay, in this PPT I have given you all the codes related to everything. Okay. So hope you understood the session, and thank you.